So thoughts are intangible. They're not tangible. It's not something that you can see with your physical eyes. It's not something that you can touch with your hands. But yet, thoughts have the power to sculpt and create the reality that we live and experience, because it is the thoughts that are creating a story, a narrative, a script on the brain, giving a command to the brain on what we want to experience. And those instructions, those commands, those imprints from those energetic thoughts, the body and the mind, or the body and the brain, I should say, is in carrying out those actions that are in alignment with the thoughts that we think. So, rule number one, or not rule number one, I should say, Hermetic law, principle number one, is that of mental. And what it's saying is that the all is mind, the all is mental. Everything starts as an idea, as a thought. Everything is intelligent energy that is then given attention, and through attention, through focused attention, we then bring that from the unseen realm into the seen realm. So we make it manifest. It becomes physical. And if we think about our lives and we think about the mass populace, we can reflect on our lives and we can see that we put in a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of focus on making decisions about, let's say, what couch to buy, what holiday to choose, what car to choose. We can put so much energy, time, and focus on these things. But how much energy, time, and focus do we put on the thoughts that we are thinking, on the thoughts that we are giving time, attention, and energy to, whether we are conscious of them or unconscious of them? In fact, it's often the unconscious thoughts that are really driving our behaviours that we need to start putting attention on, so we can bring them into the light, so we can start to examine them and challenge them, so we can start to make better choices for ourselves, so we can start to choose thoughts that are going to create and sculpt the reality that we actually want to create and live in. So just as an example, this one thought changed my life 180 degrees, completely set me on a brand new path. And at the time, not realising it, I realised it was setting me on my destined path. It was rerouting me onto a new timeline. And that thought that I had back in 2017, so back in 2017, I worked in finance for a corporate company. I'd worked in finance for 22 years. I'd worked my way up, had what would be classed as a successful job. But I wasn't fulfilled, even though it was good money and I loved a lot of the people I worked with. I didn't feel fulfilled. But at the time, I was really interested in hypnotherapy. So I had this thought that I was going to retrain in hypnotherapy. And this thought that I said to myself, I'm going to retrain in hypnotherapy because I'm interested in it and because I want to become more confident in myself. So I didn't put on loads of pressure to that thought that I was going to create a business, I was going to do anything else. I just kept that thought like that. And that one thought that wasn't overwhelming, it then led me to step one, to move into action, to sign up for a course. And from that thought and from that action, more thoughts started to come in that were in alignment with that first thought. Then I started to think to myself, as my skills were developing, I wonder how I can help other people with these skills. And then that thought led me to another thought which said, if I actually listen out at work, there's so many people that need help, they've got problems, that I can offer these services for free while I'm gaining these skills, while I'm gaining confidence, and I can see how I can help for free. And that thought eventually led to the birth of my business, Simple Change, and a complete change of reality. So I ask you now just to reflect on your life and look back at some of the moments in time where your life completely shifted, and ask yourself, what was the thought that shifted you into that reality? And you're going to see that it was a thought, it was an idea, it was something that came to you. And that idea, often those thoughts come from our higher aspects, because they're there to move us onto our destined path. Now it's up to us whether we listen to those thoughts. So look back and ask yourself, what thoughts have changed your life? And then become aware in the present moment right now and start reflecting, start putting time, energy, focus on what thoughts are now shaping your reality, and how can you tweak those thoughts, change those thoughts, realign those thoughts to move into the reality that you want to move into. Now, when you're having negative thoughts about yourself, and we all have negative thoughts about ourselves, because reality is seeded in false beliefs, it is related to false beliefs that we have about the selves. We have disconnected from the true soul self. So we must start coming into awareness that any negative thoughts we have about ourselves is not the truth, and we can move into our power to start, we can start choosing better thoughts for ourselves. And often what we have to do, really, we have to go in and we have to do the inner work. I mean, if you're interested, I actually do a program, Reconnect, where we do just that. We go on that inner journey to heal those false beliefs about the self that create these negative thoughts, that mold a life that is what I would call the fated life rather than the destined life. So so just have a little reflection there. Just this video is really to bring into your awareness how powerful the energetic world is, that everything starts in the energy world. The source of all is the energetic world. And as we start to put our attention back on that, everything starts to change, and we start to become empowered, and we start to step into our destiny.